Good morning, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Milad, and I'm one of the counselors at Sydney Queen Muslims. Welcome to you all. Today's video will focus on positive self-regard. Positive self-regard, in other words, is positive self-esteem, is the way that we view ourselves. Some of us unfortunately view ourselves in a negative manner because of messages that we have received from our parents, our friends and significant others. And some of us view ourselves in a positive manner, which is fantastic due to the environment that we grew up in, due to the positive reinforcements we received, and because we had, healthy relationships with our parents and our siblings and so forth. So in this video today, I'm simply going to focus on the negative aspect of it, is how we view and why we view ourselves in a negative way, and most importantly, what is it we can do to actually eliminate that and increase our positive self-regard. So increase the way that we view ourselves in a positive manner. Carl Rogers is one of my favorite humanistic psychologists. I've read some of his books, and he is a very well learned gentleman, and he actually says, I'm going to read you something he said. He says, Carl Rogers viewed the child as having two basic needs: positive regard from other people and self-worth. So in other words, what he's saying is, how we see ourselves and how we feel about ourselves goes a long way in life. From as young as 4 or 5 years old, if we are brought up in a nurturing environment where we have a mother and a father, or at least one, or at least let's say a mother, for example, who continuously provided us with unconditional love, praise, compliments, then that actually goes a long way for us to have this and maintain this positive self-regard throughout life. Unfortunately, if we didn't have that in early childhood, and then towards adolescence we found out about our own sexuality, that we're either gay or lesbian or bisexual, and we didn't receive that positive self-regard, then that tends to increase the negative way we see ourselves in. So what I'd like to actually do today with you is go through a couple of exercises of how can you increase your positive self-regard. So what is it you can do to help you see yourself in a positive manner, right? What exercises can you start with immediately today after you've watched this video to start building on and increasing your positive self-esteem? My biggest number one is, what are you good at? Get a piece of paper, get a pen, sit down for about 5 minutes and just think about it. I bet you, you can come up with at least five good things you are actually good about, or good at, or good in. Be it your education, be it your friendships, be it being there for others, being you're successful in your job, so forth and so forth. Be it that you're devout to Allah. That's one thing that I'd like you to start doing from today onwards, is sit down and just write down the things that you know that you are good at, because then that indicates that there is a lot of positive about you. That's one. Next one is skills you possess. Now when we talk about skills, what do you think I'm talking about here? Abilities, characteristics, attributes. Skills can be anything that you actually good at doing. It could be doing the shopping for your parents. It could be putting up with your parents. It could be navigating life. It could be your patience, your perseverance. So again, I would like you to note down for me, jot down, what skills do you possess that you know you're good at and that have served you well. One of the skills I had a client who told me was his ability to lead a double life. Now look, that's good and bad, if I may say so. Good in the sense that gentleman was not ready to come out to his family yet. So he developed the skill that when he was at his parents' house or with his friends, guess what? He was the straight guy. When he was with his friends or at Sydney Queen Muslims or in a safe environment, guess what? He could be his true self. Now the negative aspect, if I may use the word negative, is that leads to a split. Okay, you're not living out of your full self, your true identity, the one identity. Okay, but for him, he was not ready yet to actually come out to anyone. So he developed the skill, and the skill was, guess what? He had, in a way, two personas. One is the public one to his family, right? To the ones that he wasn't gonna come out to yet. And his true one was to his friends in an environment where he felt safe in. Other skills that people have is perseverance. I bet most of you have this amazing skill, which is perseverance. Perseverance is you're persevering with life, you're persevering with reality. You haven't given up, and you won't give up. You are persevering because you know sooner or later there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So when you jot that skill down, perseverance, can I please ask all of you to reflect on that? Because perseverance, then you've got resilience, you're resilient. And this is what keeps you going. This is what will help you to build on as well. Achievements. Again, I bet that if you sat down and you thought about it, you will at least jot down 7 achievements. One achievement for all of us, including myself, is that we're here. We're functioning as Muslim queer adults. That is a huge achievement for any of us. We all know what it's like to be brought up in a Muslim family where homosexuality is simply not accepted. It's not part of the equation, it's not part of our world in a way. So surviving that is a massive achievement, and please, I'd like you all to pat yourself on the back for that. A second achievement is, again, I'll come to it, persevering. Persevering with the situation, knowing that sooner or later, yes, things will get better, you're working on it step by step, you will have the life that you would like to lead. And then I would like you to think and reflect on your personal achievements. They could be anything. They could be your partner, they could be your work, they could be your education, they could be the fact that you work out at the gym twice a day. Or guess what? They could be the fact that you're just happy with the way you are. That's a huge achievement, which is self-acceptance. So please sit down and reflect on your achievements for me, jot them down and think about them, because I bet you will surprise yourself. Adversity, difficulty, challenge, obstacles. Think about throughout your whole life, how many adversities have you overcome? Again, I bet you could think of a few. And the reason why I'm asking you to jot all these down is because the more you think about and the more you jot down, guess what? The more you're going to think to yourself, oh my God, I had no idea how amazing I am. These positive attributes, I had no idea I possessed them. Because you know why, brothers and sisters? We don't actually pause and reflect on the positives. That's not how we're wired. That's not how our brain is wired. Guess what? As humans, we always focus on the negatives, don't we? Even if we do something positive, we move on. Okay, now what's next? What am I going to do now? So please slow down for me a bit and just focus on the achievements and most importantly on the adversities you've overcome. And adversity might be you've moved out of home. one of the big things for all of us, I believe, is when we make that decision, guess what? To say to our parents, look, you know what, thank you, you've raised me. Thank you very much, but now I need to live my life. I need to write my own book, my own chapter in life. I need to find my place in the world. In a way, some of us aren't able to move away from our mum and dad. Some of us have. For those of you who have, please pat yourselves on the back. And those of you who haven't, that's okay. It's probably not your time yet. It's something that you can continue to work towards. What about people you have helped? Think about how many people you have helped. It could be your next door elderly neighbor. It could be your school teacher. It could be your college professor. It could be your mum and dad. Now, I guess I can attest that we all have helped our mothers and fathers and our siblings at some stage in life. And guess what? We've probably done it at our own expense. Because they're our parents, and you know what? God forbid, we don't want to upset them. So think about how many times have you helped your parents? I guess how many times have we sacrificed ourselves for our parents? And you know what? For one to sacrifice him or herself, that's a big, big, big thing. That's I believe that's, in a way, it's a beautiful thing that you love your parents or your siblings so much that you sacrifice yourself. But guess what? There is a time to stop sacrificing yourself and start living as yourself. Okay? But please, write down for me how many people you have helped, who they were, and how did you help them. Because those people will probably never ever forget you in life. That's another thing that would lead to you having this positive self-esteem, positive self-regard, positive outlook about you. Look within. Reflect on what you have done for others, how you've helped others. Things that you appreciate about your life. I know, look, brothers and sisters, life is not easy. I know that. We all know that. At Sydney, we Muslims, my colleagues and I know that we see it on a daily basis. But I'd like you to just reflect and just think about the positives in your life. Really. It's not all gloom and doom. There are positives. The fact that we're alive and breathing, alhamdulillah. The fact that we are functioning, alhamdulillah. Yes, we have adversities. I understand that. We have difficulties. We have anger. We're sad. And so forth and so forth and so forth. Yet, there is also positives about our lives. You know, some of it, we have shelter. We have a job. We have loving relationships. We have friends who care about us. You've got Sydney queer Muslims. You've got us that care about you. Okay? So I would like you to really think about the positives in your life, because sometimes we forget to focus on the positives. It's always negative, negative, negative. At the end of the day, just remember, brothers and sisters, if we don't have positive self-regard for ourselves, positive self-esteem, then the way we walk around and function, it's actually going to be projected onto others. So this is what I'm trying to say to you. I'll give you an example. Imagine you're walking down the street and you see a man walking with his shoulders back, his head straight, and he's got a smile on his face. Would you feel drawn to that person? Would you think to yourself, oh, you know, what a confident looking person that person is, mashallah. Okay, think about that. Now, imagine you're walking down the street and you've got a man or a lady walking, shoulders slumped forward, head down, you know, walking like this. How sad. Would you think, oh, poor person? Would you be drawn to them? Would you say, oh, this is exactly who I want to be like? Probably not. You probably might think, oh, you know what? I want to be like the other person, the first person, who was walking confident, shoulders back, head straight, with a smile on his or her face, for example. And this all starts actually with positive self-regard. if we don't love ourselves, then guess what? It's actually going to be hard for others to love us and for us to love anyone else, because love starts within. And how do we start to love and appreciate ourselves? Is by finding and seeing the good things within us. Okay? Some of us may be depressed, may be highly anxious, may have social phobias. The list goes on and on. It's okay. We work through all of these in life step by step. But what's very, very important, brothers and sisters, is positive self-regard. The way we view and feel about ourselves. If we hate ourselves and we think that much of ourselves, then guess what? We're not being fair to ourselves. What I would like to leave you with, last but not least, is remember, we are here for you as Sydney Queen Muslims. For most of you, you are very courageous, and the journey you're taking in life can lead you to successful outcomes. The only thing is, I would like to remind you is, we are here to walk along the way with you, step by step. You don't need to do it on your own, because sometimes it's probably really difficult for you to do it on your own. So please reach out to us, because we are here to support you and help you build on that key ingredient, which is positive self-regard. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for your time.